So how does someone go from having literally nothing to achieving complete financial freedom? Well, today, we're going to break down the incredible story of Robert Kiyosaki and give you the exact blueprint he used to do it, starting from the absolute bottom.
All right, I want you to picture this. The year is 1985. Robert Kiyosaki and his wife Kim have hit rock bottom. And I mean rock bottom. They're broke, they're homeless, and their only shelter is an old car. Credit cards are maxed out, and they have just a few bucks to their name. No, this isn't some dramatic story. This was their actual reality.
But here's where things get absolutely wild. The speed of their comeback is just staggering. From sleeping in that Toyota in '85, they became self-made millionaires just 4 years later. And by 1994, less than a decade from their lowest point, they were completely financially free. They never had to work another day in their lives if they didn't want to.
So you've got to be asking, right? How on earth did they pull that off? I can tell you it wasn't a lottery ticket and it wasn't dumb luck. It was a specific, repeatable strategy, a set of principles they followed. So let's dive in and unpack exactly what they were.
Okay, so pillar number 1. And this might be the most important one of all. It's all about mindset. Because before a single dollar was ever earned, a crucial decision was made. The decision to be wealthy no matter what.
Now, Kiyosaki famously talks about learning from 2 dads. His poor dad, his actual father, was all about job security, playing it safe, and living in fear of risk. But his rich dad, his best friend's father, taught him to hunt for opportunities, to manage fear instead of being controlled by it, and most importantly, to have his money work for him. Kiyosaki chose the rich dad mindset, and that one choice, made when he had absolutely nothing, was the bedrock for everything that came next.
And this quote right here, it just nails the difference. See, being broke is just a situation. It's a number in your bank account, and it can change. But being poor, that's a mindset. It's a belief that you're trapped forever. Kiyosaki knew he was broke, but he refused to be poor. He saw homelessness as a temporary problem to solve, not a life sentence.
And look, if you're sitting there thinking, well, you gotta be born rich, just look at this. A whopping 80% of millionaires are self-made. They didn't inherit it. They started without a leg up. So what was the difference? It all started with that decision, a core belief that becoming wealthy was actually possible.
All right, so you've made the decision to be wealthy. Awesome. But now what, right? When you've got no cash, your single greatest asset is what's between your ears. And that brings us right to the second pillar. You have to invest in your own financial education.
I mean, think about it. You could give someone $1 million, but if they have no financial intelligence, that money's going to disappear fast. Earning money is one thing, but knowing how to keep it and grow it, that's the whole game. It's exactly why you hear all those horror stories about lottery winners going broke. And here's the best part. You don't need some secret guru to get this education. It's literally everywhere. Read the classics. Watch videos just like this one. Study the people who've already achieved what you want to achieve. Find mentors, even if it just means reading their books or watching their interviews. Just make learning about money a daily habit.
Okay, this is where things get real. Mindset? Check. Knowledge? Check. But what good are they if you just sit on the couch? You have to take action. And when you don't have cash, you've got to use a different kind of capital, your creativity and your hustle.
His first business is the perfect story here. He didn't wait for some big venture capital investment. He just saw a simple problem. Surfers needed a wallet that wouldn't get ruined by saltwater. So he created a simple nylon and Velcro wallet. He saw an opportunity and he acted on it with basically zero money. And that simple idea? It blew up into a multi-million-dollar company.
This little change in how you talk to yourself is so powerful. Saying, I can't afford it, just shuts your brain down. End of story. But asking, how can I afford it? Well, that turns your brain into a problem-solving machine. It forces you to get creative, to look for angles, and to find a way.
All right, let's talk about something really, really important. The journey to wealth is never a straight line. Everybody loves the success stories, right? But the real secret, the secret sauce, it's in how you deal with failure. Because trust me, you are going to fail.
So remember that awesome surfer wallet business? The multi-million-dollar company? Yeah, it went bankrupt. Turns out he didn't secure his patents, and copycats flooded the market. His first huge success just crumbled to dust.
So what did he do? Did he quit? Nope. He started another business, this time licensing t-shirts for rock bands. And guess what? That one went bankrupt too.
This wasn't just a one-off mistake. It was a pattern of trying big things and failing hard.
So after these business flameouts and some other bad investments, he found himself almost $1 million in debt. And that's how we get back to that beat-up Toyota. He literally failed his way into homelessness.
But here's the kicker, the part that should blow your mind. Studies show that the average self-made millionaire goes bankrupt 3.5 times before they finally make it big. 3.5 times. So failure isn't some weird exception, it's practically a requirement. Kiyosaki wasn't some tragic case, he was right on track. He saw every failure as a lesson, as data, not as a dead end.
Okay, so this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. And it's the big one. This is the concept that ties it all together and creates real, lasting wealth. It's the endgame, making your money work for you.
And Kiyosaki's definition of an asset is so simple, it's genius. Forget what you learned in accounting class. An asset is simply something that puts money in your pocket, month after month, whether you're working or not. Think of rental property, dividend-paying stocks, a business that runs on its own.
And on the flip side, you have a liability. It's just as simple. It's anything that takes money out of your pocket. Your car payment, your credit card debt, even the mortgage on the house you live in, they're a constant drain.
And this, right here, is the core lesson from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's the fundamental difference. When most people get more money, they buy bigger liabilities, a fancier car, a bigger house. The rich, on the other hand, use their money to buy more assets. Kiyosaki used every extra dollar to buy things that paid him, creating this giant snowball of cash flow. So let's boil this all down. What's the blueprint? 1. You have to decide. 2. You have to learn about money constantly. 3. You start with whatever you have right now. 4. You embrace failure as just part of the process. And 5. You relentlessly, consistently build and buy assets.
So at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. Every single dollar that passes through your hands represents a choice. You can use it to buy stuff that disappears, or you can use it to buy a piece of your freedom. Robert Kiyosaki built an empire from nothing by always choosing freedom. The only question is, what will you choose to build with your next dollar?